Hi everyone! We were just tasked by my teacher to share a healthy dish recipe for our class. Now this made me think, what cuisine would best exemplify rich in nutrients diet? Well, we were there just last summer, Japanese cuisine. So, for my cooking video, I've decided to recreate one of the dishes I've had when I was at Japan. Salmon teriyaki with vegetables. Now, I enhanced this dish by making it my own with not just regular plain rice, but rice mixed in with quinoa. So let's get on with preparing this delicious, healthy dish. The first thing we need to make our salmon teriyaki is our teriyaki sauce. To make it, we must add 1/4 a cup of sugar, half a cup of sake, half a cup of mirin, and finally, half a cup of soy sauce. Then we combine them together. Bring the mixture to a boil at medium heat. And continuously stir until the sugar is dissolved. Once boiling, lower the heat to medium-low. Simmer for 10 to 15 minutes until the sauce thickens. Now that our sauce is nice and thick, we can now turn off the stove and let the sauce cool before we use it to marinate our fish. Now that our teriyaki sauce has cooled down, we can now use it to marinate our fish. Here I have a piece of salmon fillet and I have cut a few slits to make sure that the marinade penetrates into the fish. It is also important to keep the skin on so that the fish keeps its moisture. Now to add in a little bit of flavor, we add in 2 cloves of minced garlic, and a little bit of micro-grated ginger. Now let's wrap the fish in saran wrap and let it marinate in the fridge for 20 minutes on each side. Now let's move on to our second step, cooking the rice. Here at home we do not use a rice cooker because the pot in the rice cooker uses aluminum, and aluminum is a soft metal which corrodes with our meal, and we don't want to ingest that because that is bad for our health. So instead we use a stainless steel pot to cook our rice, and I'll show you how. It's very simple. For this recipe, we are going to be adding some quinoa to our rice to make it healthier. We do this very often because my brother does not like vegetables. Before we cook our rice, we must clean it first to get rid of the extra starch and dirt. So first I will turn on the tap water and make sure to use cold water. And then I will rinse it for about 3 to 4 times or until the water becomes clear. As you can see right now, this is all the starch mixed with the water. So as you can see, the water now is much clearer than before. So I'm just gonna rinse it more so that the starch and dirt disappears. I'm just gonna pour it out. Now that we've completely washed our rice and drained out all the water, we can now add in our quinoa. And we are also adding a seasoning to our rice called dashi, which gives it the fifth element of taste, umami. Now that we've added the ingredients to our rice, we can now find out how much water we need so that we can start the cooking process. To measure the amount of water, we can simply dip our middle finger into the pot until we hit the top of the rice surface. The water level should be around the first line of your finger. Or for every 1 cup of rice, you add 1.5 cups of water. Now let's place the saucepan on the stove. And then we'll turn it up to medium heat until the rice starts to simmer. Once the rice starts simmering, you must turn the heat down to like a medium-low. It will take approximately 13 minutes after the rice simmers for the rice to cook. When you see that there is hardly any water in the pot, this is the time to turn off the stove and let the heat in the pot finish cooking the rice. This will ensure the rice doesn't get burned and cooked to perfection. I have washed and assembled all the vegetables we need for our stir fry. Here we have broccoli, carrot, red bell pepper, onion, garlic, and ginger. I will be speeding up the cutting part for this video. Now that I have my mise en place ready for my vegetables, it is now time to cook them. Heat the pan at around medium heat and then add a tablespoon of butter. Then you throw in your ginger after doing this stuff. And we'll throw in our ginger. And let's stir it. Oh, and one thing, everything tastes better with butter. Then once you smell the ginger, put in your carrot, garlic, and broccoli, and then stir it for around 1 minute. Now finish it off with bell peppers and onions. And add about 2 tablespoons of our teriyaki sauce to tie in the dish together. Add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. Now that our salmon has been marinating for a total of 40 minutes, we can now turn our pan to a medium-high heat. Then we add about a tablespoon of butter. Now we add our salmon with the skin facing down. And then we heat it for about 1.5 minutes on each side. Now it's time to flip it. Now that I've finished assembling my dish, we can now top it off with some teriyaki sauce. And then garnish it with some scallions. And voila! Doesn't this look like a really delicious dish? And oh, so healthy.
Nice!
Now let's go ahead and try it. Delicious. Well, this concludes my cooking demonstration video on a complete healthy meal. Salmon teriyaki with a side of stir-fried vegetables and rice with quinoa. I hope you try to cook this dish and serve it to your loved ones. They will be really impressed on how you did. Also, this is a very versatile dish, so you can replace the salmon with any other protein such as chicken, beef, pork, or tofu. Cheers, happy cooking!